Hi, this is Trent Short, and this is my presentation on managing human resources. So, just a little bit of background, personal background, and the overall mission of this presentation. To start off, my name is Trent Short, and I am the Director of Human Resources at Montclair Hospital. And recently we've been having a lot of issues within our human resources office and at our hospital. We've been getting a bad rep with everyone thinking that there's a drug problem and a whole lot of other list of problems within our hospital. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to implement a lot of initiatives and plans and procedures that can help everyone in the hospital and everyone in the human resources to basically clean up our image and just make everything function and run smoother. So that's just a little bit about what we're trying to do here today. So first off, within when you're trying to replace a quick hirement or replace a person that left recently and hire someone quickly, you're going to want to go out and recruit, obviously. So the way I would go about recruiting is not the way I would go about it, but the way that recruiting kind of works is you kind of get a group of applicants together and try to see who's applicable basically to your company, and how basically try to go get people that would be good for your company. And how I would do that would be posting a job description and job analysis on a variety of social media platforms. I would also show social network with people around me. And that's where external and internal recruitment comes. So externally, I can go out and talk and social network with people around the medical field and neighboring hospitals or whatever the case may be. So going out externally and recruiting, or internal recruitment, where I can talk to people within the hospital and see if I can bring any applicants within other doctors that people may know, or nurses that other people may know in our work at Montclair Hospital. So internally recruiting also is very valuable to the workplace. Next would be, after you get done recruiting, I would go into the selection process. And through that, when you're selecting people, you're observing basically all their characteristics and qualities that make up the applicant. And you can do that in a wide variety of ways. I would first have them fill out an application form, which is pretty basic, but this just gives you a gauge on what the person's like right away on paper, and also looking at their resume too as well, their work experience, and other things like that. Which brings me into the next topic, would be the selection test. And also after the resume, I would have them fill out a background check, obviously making sure that everything's good there. And then using a minimum of 3 references. I say minimum of 3 just because for a position like this, I want to get as many references as possible in order to get a really good gauge of what this person or applicant is like. And then I would implement 2 selection tests. So the first one being specific ability tests. So what that is basically it's like a SAT or ACT for nurses or doctors or whatever. And that would be, I would have them take that test just to test their knowledge, overall knowledge in the field, just to see where they're at there. And then also work sample test, which I feel would be the best one, which would be where I would basically have them get with one of my managers or whoever and have them basically shadow/follow them around all day, and also work as well, where a lot of jobs will have you just kind of follow around and not do the work. And I feel the best way to learn is by doing. So I would have them work and sample just to see how they are actually working. Next is the topic of stemming the turnover. So a lot of times new applicants take a while to get comfortable, and it's just a whole mess. So a lot of people take the wrong approach. They take a informational approach, which causes too much paperwork and too much training. And everyone knows too much training can be boring at times. So trying to speed up the process and get it done more efficiently as well. So I would personally use a relational approach, which is done with hiring people that already have past experience and knowledge, because 1, it's way easier because they already have that experience and knowledge, and 2, it's just a different approach. So always trying out something new, I feel like, will help. So the relational approach kind of puts value on who the newcomer needs to know and not what the newcomer needs to know. So we really focus on social networking in the workplace and kind of putting yourself out there in a way, even though some people don't like doing that. That's just how it has to be in certain workplaces, especially at a hospital. There's no room to be shy or anything like that. If you have a question, you just got to ask, no matter what the case is. Even if it's a dumb question, there's dumb questions, but you shouldn't be afraid to ask any type of question. So I want them to get to know people and be able to kind of pick the brains of a lot of different people in that workplace. So, and this ends up reducing the manager's workload, because if this person is able to go, if that applicant or whatever a new employee is able to go to whoever they want with a problem, instead of, oh, I got to find this specific manager and it takes so much more time to go find them because it's a hospital and it's huge. Obviously you can text or call, but it still takes time to actually find the person. So just getting things done really quickly is what we're trying to shoot for here. And then it also allows the employee to make the necessary relationship in the workplace, which kind of covered that already. It helps uncover what needs to be done productivity wise. So what I mean by that is, with this relational approach, you can get things done quicker because you're able to ask these questions and communicate with whoever you want at the workplace. And then also it specifies the correct employee for a particular job. So with that being said, with everyone communicating and having this relational approach and getting to know each other a lot better, people are going to be able to get a gauge of who's good at doing what. So there'll be no confusion of what particular job needs to be done and who I need to get to do it. Next would be keeping the hires, which is a difficult thing to do, especially in today's day and age. So a lot of time I want to try to make the onboarding and training process a whole lot smoother, and that would be done by 1 day, 1 week, and a month at a time, where instead of going day by day, which is I feel like a lot of companies do, I would kind of have set objectives / plans for the employees. That way there's no confusion. Everyone knows what they're doing every day, week, and month. And that way you're not going day by day, just kind of confused, showing up with no plan. So that way there's a set plan and things are going to get done. I would also check in regularly, especially with the newer hires. Also the regular or reoccurring employees as well too, but primarily checking in with the newer hires regularly. So, and then also making them feel part of a team, because a lot of times people not work at a specific place just because they'll be like, like that, but it just didn't feel right to me, like just the place didn't feel comfortable, place didn't feel right. So just making them feel welcome and part of our team is another thing that I would want to incorporate. And then next would be our topic of reducing absenteeism. So a lot of times, a lot of people they'll use all their sick days, no matter what, even when they're not sick, which means you're taking time away from work when you're not sick. So that's obviously not good, which we would try to put a stop to that. So, and these are the ways that we would try to do that. So paid leave, which is pretty self-explanatory. You get basically paid time off. So I feel like that would be good. And a lot of people also need that necessary kind of brain break in order to get away from the world just for a little bit. Next, I would incorporate a positive absenteeism program. So that would basically, I would incorporate personal rewards, a buyback system, and bonuses. So personal rewards, I would just basically compliment people, take them out to lunch, have a lunch or a big old dinner for them, and then or have recognition from higher up. Whole long list of things that anyone could create with personal rewards. Just continuously offering those rewards. That way, kind of, I guess I would say pushing people to do better every day at work, just so they can get these little rewards. But it adds up over time. Next, I would do a buyback system. So in order to get people to stop using those sick days, I would say you can cash in those unused sick days you can cash in those sick days for money, for actual physical money. But obviously, if you have no sick days, you have no cash in, or money to cash in. And then obviously, I feel like a really good way to keep people around and keep people at work would be to regularly incorporate bonuses. Even if it's $1, $2 here, it still adds up over time no matter what. So just trying to figure out ways within the budget to incorporate either any of these 3 systems. And so in conclusion, you got to know a little bit about me, know my role at the hospital. You got to know about the recruiting process and how that works, and then the 2 types of selection processes that I would incorporate into my workplace. You also learned about taking the right approach when hiring, and then also learned about how to keep hires around longer, and then how to reduce absenteeism. Thank you for watching. Here's my references. Hope you have a good day.